Midna is one of the main protagonists in Nintendo's 2006 video game The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. She is a member of the Twili, a fictional race of magic-wielders, who joins forces with Link to prevent the Kingdom of Hyrule from being enveloped by a corrupted parallel dimension known as the Twilight Realm. While Midna appears as an imp-like creature in the majority of Twilight Princess, her actual form is humanoid. She was designed by Yusuke Nakano and voiced by Akiko Kōmoto. Midna's first appearance was in a trailer for Twilight Princess shown at the 2005 Electronic Entertainment Expo. At the time, her gender was unknown, leaving some journalists confused about it. Midna was generally well received by critics and gamers alike. Her role in Twilight Princess has been compared to that of Navi, a character who accompanies Link in the 1998 game The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time. Midna makes minor appearances in Super Smash Bros. Brawl and Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Wii U, and returns as a playable character in Hyrule Warriors. Description: Midna's original form is a turquoise-skinned woman with body markings on her limbs, orange hair, and red eyes. She also wears a South Asian-like attire composing of black gay-gracoli with a trailing black veil. However, after being cursed by Zant, Midna became a diminutive imp. Other than her lack of clothing, save a fused shadow fragment as a mask, Midna bears elements of her original form. While in her imp form, Midna frequently speaks in sinister and sarcastic ways, often acting uninterested in the events of Hyrule and all Link's plight unless they suit her needs. Her voice is a fictional language of Hyrule, although her spoken dialogue is actually English that has been scrambled to sound like a fictional language. Appearances: Midna's game of origin, The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess, reveals her backstory as being the next in line to rule the Twilight Realm, making her the eponymous Twilight Princess. However, a power-obsessed Twili man named Zant usurps the throne from Midna using powers granted to him by Ganon to turn their people into monsters. Stripped of her power and turned into a diminutive imp-like creature, a vengeful Midna finds a fragment of the fused shadow prior to witnessing on Link's capture and transformation into a wolf by Zant's shadow beasts. Seeing use in him, Midna rescues Link to coerce him into helping her find the other fused shadow fragments to regain her birthright. Over time, Midna becomes less insensitive and sassy toward Link. After obtaining the last fused shadow, Zant catches the two of them off guard and seizes the fused shadows. Exposes Midna to the light spirit Langeru, causing her to fall ill. And curses Link to remain in wolf form. They seek the Master Sword to reverse this. Princess Zelda uses her abilities to heal Midna, though causing Zelda to disappear. After obtaining the Master Sword, they begin their search for the Twilight Mirror. Upon discovery of the mirror, they find that Zant has broken it and scattered its pieces. After the mirror's restoration, Midna and Link finally travel to the Twilight Realm, where they defeat Zant. The two of them travel to Hyrule Castle to defeat Ganondorf, the source of Zant's power. After defeating Ganon's bestial form, Midna uses the power of the fused shadows to attempt to finish off Ganondorf, but is found to have been unsuccessful when Ganondorf approaches Link, crashing the fragment of the fused shadow that Midna wore on her face as a mask. After Ganondorf is defeated and Hyrule Castle is destroyed, Midna is revived and restored to her original humanoid form. At the end of the game, she returns to the Twilight Realm and shatters the Mirror of Twilight, an act that only the true ruler of the Twilight can do, preventing light and twilight from mixing, and preventing a potential repeat of Zant's actions by someone else. During the events of Hyrule Warriors, Midna is pulled from her own time period through the Gate of Souls by the sorcerer Seer, who curses her to be trapped in her imp form. While antagonistic at first, Midna allies herself with Lana and Ajertha to help Link and Zelda defeat Seer and restore order. She is also playable in her true Twilight form as part of the Twilight Princess DLC pack. Midna made minor appearances in Super Smash Bros. Brawl in the form of multiple collectible stickers and trophies. A song from Twilight Princess, Midna's Lament, was featured as a song as well. She also appears in Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 3DS and Super Smash Bros. For Wii U as an assist trophy. Concept and creation: Midna was first revealed in the E3 2005 trailer of Twilight Princess, which also first showed the Twilight Realm and Link's wolf transformation. At this point, her gender was unrevealed, causing confusion over what gender she was. IGN editor Matt Casamassina commented that the colorful character clashed with the then black-and-white world of the Twilight Realm, though he was excited to see how the wolf and rider mechanics would work. She is voiced by Akiko Kōmoto. She was illustrated by Yusuke Nakano. When asked by Game Informer editor Billy Burhammer if Midna would make a follow-up appearance to her role in The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess developer Eiji Aonuma found it unlikely that she would return due to the ending of Twilight Princess, but added that if there were enough demand, the developers may consider it. In describing Midna, Aonuma called her tsundere, which means a character who starts the story as snobbish and brash, but who becomes gentler and kinder over time, a character archetype both he and Shigeru Miyamoto, creator of the Legend of Zelda series, are fond of. Reception: Midna has received mostly positive reception from both the video game press and the public for her role in The Legend of Zelda, Twilight Princess. She was included multiple times as part of a series of trading cards by Interplay LLC, based on Twilight Princess. Game Informer editor Andrew Rayner stated that she, along with Link's wolf transformation, had incredible effects on Twilight Princess a Euro gameplay. Fellow Game Informer editor Billy Burhammer stated that he loved Midna, describing her as a cool character due to how she messed with Link throughout the game. OneUp.com editor Jeremy Parish stated that the supporting characters of Twilight Princess make up for Link's laconic nature, Midna more so than others. He described her as being acerbic and thoughtful, as well as an intricate character who moves the plot forward for her own means. While America's Intelligence Wire editor Dave Array described her as intriguing, he felt that she could have been more so if Nintendo had developed her further. Games Radar listed her as one of the 25 best new characters of the decade, stating that before Midna, the only characters they could relate to were Link, Princess Zelda, and Ganon. Rook Gamer editor Matthew Rickett stated that he found nothing intriguing or likable about her, complaining about how much more plot time she receives in spite of this, arguing that she offers little help to Link and that it felt like she had replaced Princess Zelda in Twilight Princess. She has also been praised for her overall role in the series and as a Nintendo character. She ranked at 5th place on the top 10 best female video game characters by members of the official Nintendo magazine's forum. The O&M staff added that she was well loved by Nintendo fans, and her backstory made it difficult to dislike her. G4TV editor Michael Leffler called her a wonderful addition to the series, adding that she balances Link out. Nintendo Power, in discussing the ending to Twilight Princess, describes the relationship between Link and Midna as one of the most compelling in the Legend of Zelda history. IGN editor Lucas M. Thomas refers to her as essentially the second playable character in Twilight Princess. Midna has been compared to several characters in fiction, most often to fellow The Legend of Zelda series character Navi. The Register editor Tyler Stewart made such a comparison, calling Midna annoying. Nintendo World Report editor Jonathan Meets compared Midna to Navi as well, calling them analogues to each other but differed in saying that he did not find her annoying in the least. He added that unlike Navi, she had an actual personality and an ambiguous sense of morality. A preview of Twilight Princess in magazine Game Axis on Wired also compared Midna to Navi, though criticizing her inability to identify enemies' names and weaknesses like Navi could. Shack News editor David Craddock compared Midna to The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask partner Tatel, a character physically similar to Navi, calling her very sarcastic, and very amusing. Because of this, he found her to be much more interesting than Navi. In the book The Meaning of Video Games, Gaming and Textual Studies, author Stephen Edward Jones discusses multiple non-playable characters that assist the playable character throughout the game, including Midna. He compared Midna to another wolf-riding assistant named Isun from the action game Oekami, adding that they both seem to be based on Navi. He went further to suggest that these kinds of characters could be based on Tinkerbell from Peter Pan. Before the release of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, Midna's inclusion as a playable character was a popular suggestion amongst fans. In an article detailing the top 10 most wanted characters for Super Smash Bros. Brawl, IGN editors Phil Pirello and Richard George ranked Midna third, citing her controlling personality and shadow-based powers, which they say would add some much-needed unconventional gameplay to the Super Smash Bros. Series. Midna was also featured in 2 of IGN's Smash It Up editorials. First as the reader's choice and later amongst other dual characters. Both of these were written by Lucas M. Thomas, who also praised the character for her potential as a quality Super Smash Bros. Fighter. In response to their top 10 most wanted characters list, a group of Midna fans began sending many emails to IGN, causing members of the IGN Stars staff to create an article mentioning their forum as well as their cause to have Midna appear in more video games. References. External links, Midna on Zelda Wiki.